Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of The Plight of Princes. Where last our Miss Greens left off, the party was preparing to engage or not Gith, excuse me, Grast in a fight. Very different entity. That wouldn't be a fight. Engaging Grast in a fight. This was due to the fact that they were within a lair where Grast seemed to have materialized himself upon the mortal plane, and some other element was at play, incurring that Grast may have been caught on the mortal plane in a particular way. In addition to this, when the fight began, several portals opened, 10 in total, and from those, 4 different variants of Grast operated and came through. There were others, but those that came through were either killed as they entered and shot down, ripped apart, chainsawed. It seemed like there was a considerable effort to remove Grast from the board across several different variants of himself. The fight ensued with Grast dashing about the room and causing an immense amount of damage to the party, whilst the party were aware that they had to ensure the death of Grast by their own hand rather than by someone else's. When the combat finally came to its closure, it was Posey, the party Bloodhunter, now party Bloodhunter Rogue, who got the final blow. And as they did, to keep the variances to where we are, the variants of Grast are still present. A fragment of a crown flung and stuck itself above Poe's head. And the, call it true form of Grast that's here, or the most congruent to this area, has turned to marble and is frozen, dead in place, like in a kneeling position, legs behind it, looking up towards the moon. Which, even though that it is still now about midday, afternoon, the moon is in the sky. And with that, I do believe we are still actually on map. So let me just make sure I'm moving you over to the correct map.
We're on the world map.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was going to bring you into the right map, and here we are there. So.
Oh yeah, the ceiling fell in.
The ceiling was blown off. So, as you're all there, tension is still brewing, but Wittig, you're there and you turn to that last Grast variant that was there to your side. There was another one a little bit further away. And you watch as the true form of Grast dies, falls dead. This other variant of Grast begins to wither. And you can see that they don't begin to wither like you would see a plant that's immediately been dehydrated. No, it's more like over a long period of time where a recording was done of a plant's growth and then withering, in that it is aging rapidly. It begins trying to claw out at you, begging. Make an insight check.
Uh, 14.
Okay. You can tell that this is trying, desperately trying, in a panic state to get you to help it. And as that conflict pops into your mind, no matter how heavily weighed in one direction or another it may be, it tries to touch its hands to you, and as it does, they crumple away like dried, like a sand castle almost, that's been dried out, and when just slightly touched, it crumples. But crumples into marble underneath the fingers. It just crumbles into you and just crashes against you and drops. The one behind you, which was its floating shadowed form of Grast, seems to almost invert on itself, and where it was a shadow where light seemed to be drained into almost, and it was averse to light, it just warps outward and just turns into a puff of light before fading. as that happens, as this is what is occurring here, you guys all yourselves look towards the original grass. And I would like everyone here to make a saving throw. The stat you will be using will be the highest stat you have.
So whatever our highest saving throw is.
Whatever your highest saving throw happens to be,
Okay.
will be what you add to this.
So wait, we're rolling our highest saving.
Your highest saving throw, correct.
You guys gonna have to hold up a second because my character sheet did that lovely thing that it always does when I level up and unticked my proficient saving throws. Dex and intelligence, that's it. Well, it'll be Dex.
Does it get rid of the thing
Yeah.
every time?
Okay, you're already back, buddy. That's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It literally it's been cutting out for a few seconds. And then...
Okay. This couldn't have worked out more interestingly for Poe. Okay.
Let's rock and roll.
Of everyone who's here, only Wittick, and for a reason I'm not explaining, Kairk also does have advantage on this and does succeed.
Oh, fair enough. I was about to say ignore that. I didn't mean to roll with advantage.
Wait,
And
who?
Fake Varys.
What, fouls or?
Rolls with advantage.
Wittick, Kairk, and Fake Varys, and King and Runara.
I think he probably should
So
have
from what I'm
advantage.
seeing, I'm looking at this. Kika, Low, and Pox all fail. This is where I must now present a option for the players. You have two options here. This is actually just for Poe. I have to roll something else first for Low and for Kika. Just one moment, please.
Yep. I got heads up that this session some things might occur.
Mm-hmm.
It's symbolic that I rolled that now.
It's remarkable.
Yep. Couldn't have written it.
So, Low and Kika, please roll me 1d100.
Oh, it's always good when a D100's involved.
And once you do that, please roll 1d10.
Kika was like, I want slightly higher than average on both dice, please. I went right to the other end.
Ooh.
You both are induced with a short-term
A short-term what?
madness.
Oh, good. Oh, I'm familiar with this.
Like mother, like daughter.
Hey, it runs in the family.
Yeah.
I know how this goes.
For the next 6 minutes, you must use your action each round of combat to attack the nearest creature.
Oh dear.
Low. For the next 2 minutes, you retreat into your mind and become paralyzed. Once you take any damage, this effect will end.
One of those is much better than the other.
I was crumbling into a corner anyway, but there we go.
Okay.
Hi, what's going on?
Not you yet, unfortunately. Runara, King, Wittick, Kairk, and Fake Varys. You must also roll 1d100.
Do they get good shit because they passed?
Just as I'm doing this, does in this split second this is all happening, does combat seem to be over?
It seems like
Runara?
combat is ending in this split second.
Okay, then
However,
Runara...
this is occurring before any action can be taken.
Okay. Okay. The moment
Like
action can be taken, Runara will drop her fire area.
You?
It doesn't do any damage to her turn anyway. 1d100, so yeah.
Yes, please.
Did you say Runara and Varus?
And Varus.
Runara, Varus, King, Kairk, and Wittick. Start from the lowest 2 rolls. So if you don't mind rolling a d100 for Kairk.
Yeah, I'm doing.
We're all in the upper quadrant.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we are.
All in the upper
King
part.
Runara.
75 again. We're all around it.
King.
I'm the only outlier at 90.
King.
You're still within the same.
Yes.
Whilst you do not need to, you may choose up to 3 creatures within 30 feet to do 4d10 lightning damage. Runara. Pick one of your friends.
Any?
Pick one of the party members present here.
I'll roll for it because I can't pick. How many others? 1, 2, 3, including myself. 4,
No,
5,
no, not
6,
you, not you.
7.
You must not include yourself in this number.
Okay, there's 7 of us. I'll just allocate them all numbers.
Roll 1d7.
6. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, wait,
Just
that
tell
was,
me who this number would fall.
That was Kayak. I didn't realize Kayak was on there twice. Okay, it would be King then.
Okay. Roll a d4. King, you're poisoned for an hour.
Bleh.
Sorry.
We're all becoming our previous characters.
I can fix that. Don't worry.
Interestingly, Kayerk's effect cannot work on him. As he is a shapeshifter and in full control of his autonomy, he cannot be,
Gonna be
polymorphed
polymorphed.
into anything else.
Shape-shifting squad can't be polymorphed.
And take Varus.
Paris.
Illusionary butterflies appear around you for the next minute for 10 feet.
That's fine.
And then finally, Wittick. You become invisible for the next minute. During that time, other creatures can't hear you. This invisibility will end if you attack or cast a spell.
That's the worst person that could have happened.
I've had that one. I've had that one happen to me.
I remember. Naren, eye
Wait.
contact with me. That's so bad.
Now,
You are like greater invisible, essentially, for the next minute.
not
You said
regular,
if I take it's regular
take an
invisibility,
attack
so
roll or cast a spell.
Oh, okay, so it's normal invisibility. Okay.
Normal invisibility.
Cool.
I'm going to keep you one out of this one because I'm already rolling for everyone here.
That's perfectly fine.
Oh,
Hi, bud.
I must give you a choice. I'm looking at this now. And as I'm reading my own rules, if the player roll a 1 or choose to accept, then this will occur. You rolled a 1.
Do what you gotta do. Let's go.
Your race changes to that of a fiend. You are no longer a fey changeling.
But I'm still a changeling. Or am
You're
I?
a changeling of a fiend.
Okay.
You have the
Just
fiend
like
tag.
if you were
you
an
mean.
orc, just as if you were an orc, for example, you would now be a fiendish orc.
Got it. So my type is no longer Fey, it's Fiend. Okay, okay.
And now I must roll on this thing. Kay picked a very unfortunate.
Kay picked such a bad time to DC.
Oh no! It's a bad time to have internet problems.
We are becoming our old characters. I'm becoming a thief again.
Oh my god, you get. Oh my god, Poe's gonna have little tiny little horns.
Let's see.
Well, I didn't want to be a Fey.
Congratulations, the monkey
not
paw
really.
is curling up.
This is I got what I wanted, but not like this, please.
So for everyone who has failed, which I believe is Lo,
Kika and me.
Kika, and Poe, I need a D100 from Kika, D100 from Lo, and a D100 from Poe.
If I
After
roll
this-
another one on this, do I just die?
No.
Ooh,
Someone
high
explain
roll,
to me
high
what,
roll.
what just happened when I disconnected?
My type tag changed from Fey to Fiend.
Oh, lovely.
I'll let Blue after you.
Oh, low roll.
And somewhere in the middle.
Middle roll.
High roll, low roll, somewhere in the middle roll. Yeah. That's the team. Great,
Oh.
bad, and average.
Low gets the piece of loot this run.
Gets the deck of many things.
Okay. This works. Kika, roll a D6.
Probably
Rather
so
than
many
choosing-
extra dice.
Rather
I'm so
than me-
glad that Kika's got madness and something else.
A 6.
Which is the best one you could have rolled for yourself.
I was gonna say that's either really good or
It's
really
really
bad.
good or really bad. Oh,
Increase
good.
your charisma by 2.
Oh!
Oh
Yo,
shit! On a failure?
fuck.
Fuck you!
I'll take that.
I'm a fucking fiend. I'm gonna ping off every paladin in Neverwinter, and your charisma went up by 2. Okay. Such is the whims of magic. If there's no better distillation of how
Cox.
things have gone for us. Hi.
Whenever you hit with any weapon, you deal an additional D6 fire damage.
Ooh.
Like indefinitely?
Indefinitely.
More dice!
Loyalty.
I'm just gonna add it to my sneak attack dice.
Yo.
You can no longer be blinded, deafened, petrified, or stunned.
Yo.
What the heck? Have I just got like the like a Fey boost or something? Can I get that in writing?
I guess it's given
That's
the,
the
given
Fae.
the source, it's fiendish in nature, surely.
Yeah.
If
I
it's
think
from
what
this
just
crown.
happened is we just got a bunch of boons for having killed a demon lord, and some of them are good and some of them are bad because that's what the abyss is. It's chaos incarnate.
Yeah, but my concern right now is that there's a lot of giveth being given. And
Oh,
I'm
but
now
there's
worried
some
where the
taketh.
taketh. I'm wondering where the
We've had a
taketh
bit of
comes in.
taketh. We've had a bit of
That is one.
taketh.
The fact that those that
We've
failed
had
the
a
save
lot
have
of
ones with a
taketh.
boon.
Lo and Poe, roll another D100 each.
Oh,
Oh,
god.
You're getting
There
like,
you
one
go.
of, like,
There you
the
go.
major effects and
It's
detrimental
chaining,
effects
it's
from
chaining.
DMG. Yeah.
After you, Tim.
Hey, charisma goes up to 17. Fuck.
Another higher one.
Loyalty. While you are like this,
What does that mean?
any animal within 30 feet of you is now hostile.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's fiendish in nature. Oh dear.
Oh no.
When you say any animal, you mean like any beast? Like,
Any animal, specifically. Which means it's up to my interpretation what
Right.
counts as an animal.
fair.
Animals.
Well, after you, Blue.
I'm rolling another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kika's got 3 things.
Low,
Oh.
low roll again. Ugh,
Another low.
I keep.
Well, it might be really good.
I keep rolling low.
Or not.
You now have disadvantage on saving throws against spells.
No. Because these are all of the
Bad.
detrimental tables, so all of these ones are going to be bad.
Bad, bad.
15.
The first ones are all boons, these are all detriments. Oh no,
Go on.
he's hesitating.
Say what you gotta say.
No,
Ah,
I'm not hesitating. I'm contemplating how I can project this.
Project or reject?
It's gonna be up there too.
I need to look
Like-
at the spells rolling.
Oh, good.
This is a spell?
Is
Fucking wet.
this a spell?
This is a
Is
spell.
this a spell?
You receive the challenge. Bring the moon back. Anytime you work against bringing the moon back, for any particular reason, you take 5d10 psychic damage. You are now under the gaze effect.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
So then, for those of you who are currently,
Bad.
for those of you who are here, all of you who are watching, and I'll kind of pull into the POV of Serenus here. Serenus, who had stayed back, who didn't engage in this, does not receive the adverse or positive effects. You watch as this entity drops to the ground. You revert back from your stag walk. A shard of a crown floats above Poe's head. As it does, you're not sure whether or not it's the pox changeling form or not, but you do see some of those black venules in interior skin, but it's not on pox, it's on Poe. Like obsidian, slightly strenulated across the face, across the body, just slight small veins. Similar in texture or color to grass. As an ancient one is truly and thoroughly ended in this moment. For many of you, the magical reaction of this is immense. It is near overwhelming. You have to control your mind, hold your presence, resist the backlash that hits you like the mushroom cloud of a nuclear explosion. Those of you who are here who did not succeed were washed over, and in that moment you could feel the overwhelming energy of it driving into your mind, pushing into you like a madness. Overwhelming desire. Just true paralytic fear. As this happens, all here, and there is a stillness to this air. Tension that runs through it as if could be cut by a knife. All feel a weight, a gravity on you. Pressure of what you've just done. As that happens, you must attack this creature to you for the next 6 minutes. Your familiar summoned conjuration would count as a creature.
Okay, well, it's
In-
not the nearest creature to me. Also, I think you need to up your sensitivity threshold because the end and start of your sentences are being cut out a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. So you must attack the nearest creature.
That's Kato.
What Kika sees in her mind right now is an immense amount of dangerous, aggressive things, like the blast smacks her against the wall. You can feel like the indenting against your head. You shake in that moment. You look around, and there are gibbering, screaming, star-touched creatures all looking around you. All about you in this room. They're all here to get you. Nara, you drop your wings. For the sake of this, we'll say combat has resumed, as there's a hostile entity present. What I will say is, while Kika looks panicked to a lot of you, you have no reason to currently believe that she would attack anyone. Till she moves in. For the sake of this, I'm going to say that your first attack will be at advantage because no one will see this coming.
Okay.
Do we have an initiative order?
Yeah, if we're in initiative, do we need to roll an initiative order?
I will say roll an initiative order.
Obviously, we don't know we're in combat, so we're not going to make any active combat actions effectively.
Until it's Kika's turn.
I have a question. Specifically because you said that Lo was retreating into his own mind right now. Do I roll initiative with disadvantage, or...?
Yes, you do nothing.
Okay, that's the bit that I wanted to clarify.
You're paralyzed until you take damage. At that point, I'll say you can regain into initiative.
And I'm just rolling initiative as well. Because even though I'm away, I'm still.
You're there. I'm going to say we could take the stag away, the elk away. And the reason I can say that as well is that you are also paranoid. So I will say that if you believe she's twitching, she's about to jump. For the sake of this, I'm going to say, Serenis, you can make an insight check.
Right. Okay, so do initiative and then an insight check.
Correct. The reason I'm giving that to you is that you are paranoid in the moment of anyone doing anything. And I will ask between you and Kika who has the higher dex.
Would my insight check be advantage or disadvantage due to the paranoia?
Straight roll.
Kika has the higher dex.
I have +2.
Okay. Kika goes first then.
Effectively a surprise round, I assume.
Essentially a surprise round.
Yeah. Well, because Kika thinks that everything looks dangerous, she thinks that to engage would be dangerous. So she will do a double Eldritch Blast at Kayak and sends her familiar to. She would send her familiar to go attack, but her familiar doesn't look like itself. So does she leave? So does she just leave the familiar?
You look to call your familiar, and you don't see it. You just see another thing out to get you. So for the sake of this, you cannot command it.
Okay.
Oh, we can't take reactions as a surprise round, can we?
No.
No.
No. Just confirming.
And it's at the level where it does 2 still. Both of those hit Kayak, so let me take down his health from last week.
110.
No, that's his max HP.
All right,
it's in my notes because Kayak doesn't have a player's thing. I was like, well, if I lower his health, I won't. There's no note of what his max health is because he has an NPC sheet, so I've not changed that. I've got it on a separate. I've got it on a separate page.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got his health tracked.
Naren, what's your dex?
0.
Okay. Didn't like to assume that I should have higher, but I assumed I should have higher.
Okay. Okay, and I guess would naturally fly up, considering that she thinks she's surrounded, so she flies up.
Okay. She blasts twice into Kayak. There's no denying that that's what she just did.
Yep.
Kayak looks at you confused, tries to speak to you. No matter what he says, you still seek to attack. Your brother would not, however, harm you.
No, I know
but
that.
doesn't know what to do in this situation. Confused why you just attacked him. Actually, does he have detect magic? Does not. Otherwise, detect magic, see if you're charmed or something, but he doesn't. So he's just going to hold, essentially. He's not going to do anything. This would eventually now go to Serenus.
I think in kind of preparation, I think there's nothing really like going on that's near me right now. I know
Not immediately,
things happening, so I'm just going to.
I'm going to say, for the sake of ease, you were next to Low to keep the.
Yes,
I will say by this point, by the way, because of your momentary insanity, your concentration on your calming presence is dropped.
Yeah, I think because it's far away from me, so it's not immediate to myself because I'm away from where they are. I'm just going to. Would I be able to just prepare magic?
You
magic
can hold
stone?
a spell. Yeah.
So I think I'll just kind of hold magic stone ready for any for reaction if need be.
Cool. That's what you can do on your turn. That's fine. So this would then turn up to Runara. You have dropped your effect. You're no longer burning yourself.
Yeah, starting my turn, I would just. What? Hold on. Is that a thing to drop it? Like a bonus? Let me just double check.
No, it's just your free action to drop, essentially. Just like how a druid's form can just be.
Is it?
That's a mechanical one if you do that.
It doesn't actually say how. Yeah, it doesn't specifically say how to end it, so I'm assuming that. Yeah.
I'll just say free action.
Yeah, I think it's one of those ones where if it doesn't specify, it's just free.
I think it used to be a thing. We can obviously Kika's like on edge, looking at all of us.
You see that you felt that energy waft over everyone. It hit you, hit everyone else. You're aware magic just like burst out in this area. And one of the most magically attuned people here is currently in a panic state and is attacking people looking wild-eyed.
Yeah, you've seen Pika have panics. You can see she's panicking.
And does it look like she's looking for an enemy that we can't see, or that we're like? Can we tell that we're the enemy to her?
Oh, she's looking at you.
That's what I mean.
She's looking at you,
Yeah.
afraid.
Okay, how high up did Kika go?
Probably her max movement, which is 60 feet.
Just 60 feet off the ground.
Yep. She thought she was surrounded by enemies, so flying upwards seemed like a safe tactic for her to do.
Okay, I'll go immediately below her, so I'm 60 foot away from her. And I'll command and tell her to descend.
Okay, that's going to be a saving throw.
Which I have disadvantage on.
DC
Correct.
16, whatever it is.
Is it wisdom or charisma, Kay?
I can't remember.
It says wisdom on the second line.
Okay.
Yeah, wisdom.
That's fine then. Oh, I didn't see that. That's fine. Yeah. Kika, you have to command now, so you have this
on your
weird
turn.
thing between, so you are going to come down.
Yep.
Well,
on my
as
next
my
turn.
bonus, as my bonus action, I've still got command's not concentration. I've still got the Healy Aura Dubri up, Aura Vitality. So as a
Correct.
bonus action, I'll just, as I'm walking towards Kika, I'll just shoot a quick heal to Kayak.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. 2d6?
Is it just 2d6? I can't remember.
Correct. Or vitality is 2d6.
Thank you.
Okay. Fake Varus.
Why do both my characters go next to each other? That means I've got no time to
Why
think.
does that keep happening? You don't have the same dex mod or anything.
The dice gods are making Kay's life like slightly easier.
No, harder. He's got no time to switch between characters.
I still don't understand how every single initiative I've ever had has been below 10.
I had that for about 5 years.
It's okay to be below 10 sometimes as a spellcaster. You
I
can
don't wanna
react
be.
to everything.
Screams in
What
glory.
you don't want is, as a hypothetical, as a tank to never roll above about 4.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
As a
too good.
hypothetical, that's not really what you want.
Barris is hasted.
Just me and Ash
still.
hand in hand at the bottom of the initiative.
You're wives, that's where you belong.
Yeah.
And hand in hand at
The greatest
bottom of
love story
initiative.
ever told.
Barris is hasted.
What if we kissed at the bottom of the initiative table?
Terrible.
He wouldn't attack her. They're not gonna do that.
I will say Varys is also aware that Kika is reacting in a particular way, and you're aware some big, heavy-duty magic just went out, like grades
guess
above you.
Yeah,
in that
the
way.
only thing I can do that isn't attacking her would be trying to dispel magic on her.
You can attempt it.
Whatever level I'll do it
I
at,
think-
it's gonna
yeah.
be it's gonna be a roll even if I do
Yeah.
my highest level spell slot. So I will do my lowest, which is a 4th level dispel magic.
Cool. Stop pulling knives on Kika.
No.
I'll
That's how you get a Gregor.
I'll also move forward, so I'm a little bit closer as part of. I'm assuming I've got a roll for this.
Yes, you will. So
Twitch
roll
chat, please don't
D20
question
and-
how many of us have knives within arm's reach.
Well, just, that one. So.
It's for potential.
I'll use luck.
This
not
is
much
the time
better.
to use it.
It's not any better.
Doesn't work, I'm afraid. You attempt to dispel the magic from Kika in this way, and it just flies clean off of them.
I've still got bonus action and a hasted action technically,
Mm,
but there's not really anything I can do with that. I don't want to throw anything at her.
no.
No, he wouldn't attack her, so he would just stand there. I just watch her like very closely.
Okay, Widdick.
I'm invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot
Mhm.
speak.
Nope.
You can speak. We just can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can't be
Well, I'm
heard.
gonna try speaking. Notice nobody's talking to me like I'm got my mic muted.
Your Warforged
and-
mic is muted.
Yeah,
You got the
so I'm
blue red
gonna-
dot next to your vocal cords.
Gotta bring the
I'm gonna move here and ready my action to grapple.
That is a good idea, and she will also have disadvantage against you because, as in, you will roll with disadvantage on an athletics or acrobatics check when he attempts to grapple because you don't know he's there to go. Ha. Awesome.
And
Okay, Eric. Widdick.
before I'll walk. I'll give fake Varys a tap on the shoulder twice to know that I'm.
You feel a big metal gauntlet go ding ding.
And to go that he knows I'm going past him.
Interestingly, you don't hear footfalls because you cannot hear anything. Carrick. What would Carrick do in this situation, Blue?
He's like really concerned, so like I guess his instinct is, because he can also fly, is to just sort of fly up and just be like, you know, what's the matter? Is everything okay? So he could just see the biggest of the creatures sort of fly up to her.
Yeah.
Just like really
give-
concerned.
Give me an insight check from Carrick.
Sad dragon noises.
I don't know why I made like an old husky noise.
There's a walrus in here.
I'm just picturing Carrick on the beach going. Okay. Given that Kika is definitely not trying to roll to hide anything right now,
Yes.
I will say that Carrick is of the impression that something is wrong with Kika. Kika thinks everything is up together right now. He obviously knows this is not true, but why as to why she thinks this, he does not know.
He doesn't have anything to help with that.
King,
All right,
you're
I'm
poisoned
going.
for an hour.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
Oh god, why?
Oh god, right? No. Should just be like, bleh, this is most uncomfortable.
I am bothered by this.
Oh, grab! I move 30 feet up
Just-
here,
Yes.
and seeing that my fellow Archon is
Speaking.
doing crazy things, I'm going to use Archon powers to cast Hold Person.
Also,
least
Ah! She's in the air at the moment, King.
It would.
Winnick's
make up
holding
for-
a grapple. It can be a catch.
I will say, if you would like to do this, make an Archon check. The DC, I believe, will be 12 because it is a second level spell.
You
I'm
can get
also
caught,
poisoned
Cole.
though, so I'll be rolling this at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Correct.
You can get caught, but you're still falling that distance and hitting a solid object.
Yeah, I'm still going to take damage.
If you're unconscious, you're unconscious.
no.
At least you're not attacking anyone for the next 6 minutes.
Don't worry, I have cushioning pads on the inside of my arms for the purposes of catching.
I thought you were about to say I have cushioning pads on my hands, and I was about to go, you have beans? We've got
I-
this
I
entire
assumed it was for
campaign,
hugs.
and you haven't told me that you've got beans?
Okay. With the 16, so that would be, I believe it's a wisdom save on Hold Person. So I will need a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage from Kika.
It's against a DC of 17.
That's fail.
7. You are held. You are no longer able to keep yourself
Yeah,
flying.
so I drop.
Varus or Featherfall.
I will say, well, yes, a Featherfall can either be cast as a reaction, and Kair can just grab her and hold her. Is it a minute or 10? I believe it's only a minute.
It's only a minute, so when
Oh.
King's done this, she's
Oh.
going to say, "Can we restrain her?"
While all this is happening, King, you said this out. Oh,
Hi, bud.
hi, buddy. You have felt something about you.
Not entirely stranger to altering my own biology.
Not entirely, but you always have control over your altering of your own body, which is now taken from you.
Not what I meant. Blood Hunter.
Sorry. Other thing.
No, carry on.
Your body has been altered. This is neither by a blood hunter style, nor is it by something of your own volition. There is something from your training about how you've been taught, how you've learned how to hunt monsters, that this feels. Why does it know wrong should feel wrong? Why does it feel right? No, it should feel wrong. And at this point, I'll ask, oh, feel an overwhelming urge of power in you. It is like you are riding the greatest high of your life. Would the moon pleading with her break her from this trance?
Yes.
Because you do hear it. You are riding this, and in the back of your head, wheezing, raspy, hear a voice, desperately pleading. You can't make out words. You can just tell it's a plea.
Hear the intent.
And then you focus. And you're looking even at the grass that once was. And what all of you now realize in this moment, as you're looking towards that entity in the middle, you can't remember its name. If it had a name, you know you killed it. You know that this was something, but its name, that you do not recall.
We have the impression that we knew its name and now we don't? Or do we just think
Like how you can
we never knew its
encounter
name?
a strange monster in the wood that you might not know the name of. You do not know this creature's name.
Okay.
As you're looking at this creature, this sad creature, looking up,
Please hold my toilet, buddy.
white liquid pouring from its eyes, still pouring, streaming down its body. Its eyes are glanced up towards the moon. You hear their voice in your head. Your friend. Not you. Not you. Wouldn't care anyone but you. No. No. Please no. Don't take the power. Listen to me. And at the moment, you feel a flash in your mind. And you see Volcano. She will use it to burn the material plane. You see a flash. You see Asmodeus. He would use it to conquer the lower planes. You see a flash of Primus. He would use it to end chaos, to take away love, music, joy from the world. And you see a flash. Faye, Auntie. She would use it to override the world with chaos, law and order. That which keeps this world, this plane stable, would be gone. You see a flash of the mountains of Celestia. You see faceless angelic entities. They would use it to burn out all evil. And in the lack of evil, apathy would fester. They can't. None of them can have it. Don't want you to suffer with it.
Then why shouldn't I have it?
It's another cage. You will not have your independence anymore. You will have rules you must abide. You will constantly be hunted and killed by powers. Take it from you. Worse than what you currently have. The fears you've always had of being hounded and hunted. Whether or not they were warranted or not. This is true. These things will come for you. And you just see flashes of demon after demon after demon, fiend after fiend, party of heroes lunging towards you to end you, end evil. You'll be chased.
Then what do I do? It can't go anywhere. But I don't want that, but is there another way?
Do you trust me?
Not with this. Because you asked me not to.
You're right. You shouldn't trust me with this. But you can trust me more than any of them with it.
I don't know that I trust the you that has that power. You told me what you were like when you had it. I don't want that for you. I didn't hear that.
I can put it somewhere. I can hide it. See a little way. Let it do something. Let it fall back into the abyss and let it be fought over on the plains again where it's meant to be, on the levels. Let it be pulled in by another fiend. Let something else take its place. Everyone else will try to use it. Throw it back. As it belongs. You cannot. It will end you, Poe. I've seen good people take bad powers before. And at that moment, you see the most resplendent angel you've ever seen. 6 wings, a prismatic coloring to them, in a battle against some ancient maternal abyssal entity. And as he pulls out her heart, fuses it to a scepter, he now sits in the hells at the 9th level.
I said out of character I'd never do this, but I want to break a rule that I set for myself when I started playing this character. Can I make an insight check?
Make an insight check.
I just want to know if they're telling the truth. That is all I'm trying to discern. Fate is trying to intervene by not loading my character sheet. Insight. Natural 1. Dice.
Let me just make sure I can get it to load.
Can't see.
Natural
I
1.
get it, I big.
Natural 1.
Oh.
We can't lie to each other.
We can't lie to each other. I had him roll at disadvantage because he can't lie to you. It feels, as you're trying to interpret this from them, you know they gave you strict reason as to why they could not trust you. But there's such desperation to get this from you that it is not a greed. I will emphasize that it is not a greed. It is not a desire to claim power. It is an extreme concern. And you do believe that they will try to throw it into the abyss.
But they don't know that they can.
They will try. You believe wholeheartedly that that's what they want to do. Want to keep it from you. They want to make sure you cannot suffer with this.
I don't know what to do.
I'm going to say roll the dice. If you choose, you can set higher or lower than a 10. With the result, if you are unsatisfied with the result, choose
The
the
classic.
Yeah, we
coin
know
flip.
this one.
Because it's like, I don't know if this isn't Pox's indecision. This is
is
Curls versus
Right,
Pox.
right.
Because if it's a thing of it's Pox's freedom or the moon's, either the moon becomes what he never wanted to become in trying to save me, or I give up my freedom for him. I think I know what Pox picks.
Don't forget that you're geared into. I don't know
Bringing
if
the
that,
moon back,
I
but it
don't know if
wouldn't
that would
be.
play into this at all.
Yeah, it
Just
wouldn't
bear
be
that in mind.
him. That's the
Okay.
thing. I think if it's gears into bringing the moon back, you'd want the moon back as he was,
Which would be don't
which would
give
be
him the power.
king of hunters and wolves. The man in white.
I will say, as he's trying to make a request of you, that sensation that washed over you briefly, like two scorpion pincers, it's just pressing into the lower part of your brain, at the back of your mind. It's not hurting, it's just a pressure pushing you to lift your head up.
It wouldn't be worth doing this without you.
I'm not going to go anywhere.
That's very nice of you to say. But I think we're past the point where we need to be kind to each other in that way.
I will say as well, this is not a long drawn out thing where it's happening. Of course, it's just a few more time. Oh, this is a moment in eternity.
I can't hear you.
You need to speak up.
In eternity. This is essentially one moment in eternity for her. Everyone else, this has been like 2 seconds.
Yeah, kind of what I figured.
There's a extended period where the moon is quiet. And at that moment, you feel a weight in your pocket. And you just see a little, just pull it out, a small, beautifully crafted moonstone. It is stone from the moon, carved in the form of what would be like the first, if you were to look back at archaeological digs of the first ever human tools for hunting, incredibly old designed knife. And then you see on it, it is dripping white. Make a promise in blood. I will never abandon you, but I don't want to lose you to that power. Feels so light in your hand, and yet in your thoughts of what this might do to your friend, it weighs a ton.
I love you too. I'll take the knife and do my standard Crimson Rite.
Red mixes.
Is it still red or is it black?
Interesting. You see that there's a portion and it's at the hand. There's no black on the hand, but you do feel a little bit of blood running down your cheek from a cut earlier near one of these marks.
Oh, I'm on
you
like
touch that.
5
you touch that. It is black here, but not here. So it seems like it's not across the entire body. Not yet.
I love you very much. I can't let you take it.
Give me a perception check.
It's not the one.
You are in a haze. This is overwhelming you in your mind. He is trying to come in desperately. You refuse to give this to the moon. The moon does not hold anything against you. Whilst you do not see everything, what you do see is a silhouette standing atop, essentially in the moon's glow. A large white-robed entity. You just see a mass coming down very simply to a sharp point in the middle. And you just see white pouring from it. In a brief moment, it fades. And as you are there, I'll never stop loving you.
You too. Take care of them.
At this point, June, 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 behind everyone, Serenus, you're the only one who would see it, because everyone else is focusing on Kika, both looking at the moon. Coming out from their stealth form right next to you, where a pillar is, holding a large rifle which is now being aimed at Poe's head, is a wide-brimmed hat wearing Gith. This large mechanized tool is aimed right at her, with a red bead at the back of its head. Back of Poe's head. You have a magic stone prepped. Do you choose to throw the rock at the Gith?
And I had no perception that they were there before they've just
They
appeared.
just appear, just out of thin air.
Paranoia.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I'm going to throw the rock right at them.
Kind of like less. I'm going to say as well for flavor. You're not really throwing this, so I'm not going to give you disadvantage. I'm going to let you just smack the rock against the back of their head. So you don't have disadvantage. You're clubbing him in the back of the head.
It's like,
So make an
Yeah.
attack roll.
Alright.
Like,
So do I just do... So do I
I'm just going to say just do a straight spell attack roll as you normally would with magic stone. Ah, I love you, goddamn.
Magic stone. Magic stone.
Magic stone.
Magic
Best
stone.
spell in the game.
Magic stone.
What's the DC on being knocked over with your walloping rocks?
Give me a sec.
A little
And for the
wild.
sake of
interesting.
this, and for the sake of this, I'm also going to say
It's a DC 10 strength saving throw.
okay. He does not expect a rock to hit him in the back of the head, and he's prepping his shot. Him being focused on prepping a shot gives him disadvantage when he is being engaged in. This is part of the disadvantage of the fact that he is so incredibly powerful with the shot, is that he's basically useless and anything comes at him from the sides while he's doing it. He has disadvantage, and I'm rolling this above table. See it. You throw a rock. You smack it against the side of his head. You shout out. You mash the rock against his head. He does not fall over. He does not get knocked prone. But here's what I'm going to say. He's about to shoot one of your friends, who's really badly hurt. Is that all you do? Anything else you would like to do?
Well, because I've... Do I actually have a... Would I be able
I'm going to
to...
say, as the DM in this moment, in this freeze frame second, Lo is paralyzed, everyone else is with Kika, just you. What do you do?
I
If all else fails, I've got one more Misty Step.
I'm gonna do something as a full to. I'm give this a go. Apologies. Yeah, I'm going to cast. Would I be able to cast Thunderwave at 4th level to see if I can possibly just knock them on their ass?
I'm going to say yes. You can do that. You can certainly try. That's a Constitution saving throw, whether or not you're going to knock him on his ass.
With DC 16.
Again, he's focusing on this. Basically, when this ends, he's going to take his shot.
Jesus.
The dice have got plans this evening.
They sure
They
do.
want it to go an exact way.
Okay, you do 19 points of damage. It is a loud bang. Everyone else's attention is drawn. So you are aware. Get this there. Gets knocked slightly, like shoved, but then lines the gun again to take a shot at Poe. Just gotta do one quick change.
If I notice, I will Misty Step, but I don't think I do.
Unfortunately, this is his turn. I was kind of giving Serenus like a moment in time. Do we keep losing people? I just keep seeing the thing tipping.
Up here.
No, I keep seeing roll 20 like something keeps tipping. Someone's
Oh.
not. That's a natural 1. That's a natural 1 on the gun.
Is it Percy rules? Does it break?
This gun is advanced to the point where it
Yeah, I was
doesn't
gonna
break.
say, I didn't fucking think so.
However, while it does not require a repair period, essentially charging it up for this long, like that, you can tell like there's like it's steaming at certain points, like there's exhausts coming off it for a blast. It's almost like he's overheated it, and it kind of just goes in his hands. This moment, get there. Kika is held. I'm going to say Serenus is going to go now. And then I'm going to add the hunter to the table, and we will re-begin combat.
Okay.
As now that Grass is dead, Poe has become his mark.
On my whole 9 HP.
Serenus.
Oh boy.
I will say he doesn't have any more disadvantages on anything, but because of the state of the party, I'm rolling all these blunt to the table. Whatever happens, happens. Also, God bless who's ever sending Curls memes to make her smile.
A lot of people are sending me good vibes.
Love you, buddy.
I am not too sure what else to.
What could
Fuck
do it
him
again?
up. Just
I could.
He's gonna die.
I got a full. So I got a full turn, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the only one here with spell slots. Fucking kill it.
Yeah, just hit him with like your strongest thing. We want this fucker dead.
I want him dead.
real quick.
I want his family dead.
Das, are we within 1 mile of where we left the inn?
Yes.
Cool.
Be amazing if we weren't.
I'm curious why specifically you're asking about the inn.
I know.
Is
I don't know.
Oh. Never mind. I remember. Let's take about 4 turns at a full dash. Because there's a hole in the fucking ceiling. Rather than
Right.
going through all the death traps, you could just run that. So I'm gonna say 4 turns for Doug.
Yeah, I swear down if some dinosaur just appears out of nowhere and just goes, "Whee!"
I mean,
Dinosaur,
unfortunately, I
you
don't
say?
think- Unfortunately, you do not know what a dinosaur looks like because you've never seen one. except for a fucking Triceratops.
Very true.
So, you could scout and short haul me if you'd like. Actually, that's a fair point. What is the CR for Triceratops?
That's important to know.
He
Very
has to have
important.
seen a Triceratops.
He has seen it.
Into the
I have seen one.
Oh yeah,
He
we
has
have
seen
seen
one.
Oh yeah,
one.
We've seen a Triceratops.
CR5.
CR5.
You have to be able to do something of half your level. By the way, Ollie, you all leveled up, so you're level 10. You could actually turn into a fucking Triceratops.
You can turn it.
I
We can
actually
bring
could.
back the fucking Triceratops, which is in fact its
It's
full title.
time for Scanbo.
A fucking Triceratops is its full name.
That is very
It's Mr.
true.
A fucking Triceratops. Thank
I
you very
actually
much.
went looking for a fucking.
Right.
I have
Oh,
a
boy.
Triceratops, unfortunately, which you could honor as calling a fucking Triceratops.
Does he look worse for wear?
No.
No.
Yeah, so there's no way.
He's
He
not
straight
been-
up just avoided the whole fight and was
He's
waiting to
not
get a
been in
kill shot.
any sort of fight at all.
He straight up was waiting to steal the kill.
But the only damage he took was maybe a little from when the ceiling fell. That's literally it.
So doing straight damage is not really going to do much for much in this situation.
No, not that one.
It's a tense
I'm-
situation. You can throw ideas at us, and we can give you feedback.
I'm thinking about trying to do entangle on them to see if I can just bind them, but their strength check was quite high, but I think it's worth a shot to see if I can keep them held while we can try and get somebody to heal.
I don't know if they
Oi.
might still be able to shoot while they're entangled. Is the thing.
Reduce
Does
their
entangle
movement.
restrain or not?
It
remember.
is a creature restrained by the plant.
Okay.
So, if you would like to perform an entangle and basically throw it out to the area in front of you and around him so it doesn't affect you or low, you can do.
Yes, it'll be because it's just it's a 20-foot square starting from a point within range. So
yeah, I'll just say that you can hit him with it for the sake of ease and this and the speed. We're not going to give the specifics. We're going to say that you cast it out. DC is that he is rolling straight on this. You restrain him as your action. Do
Okay.
you have anything you would like to do on your bonus action? I.e. turn into a fucking Triceratops.
oh yeah, we'll
keep
level
a
up.
fair point. At
We'll
the end of your
level up.
turn, you get to make a wisdom saving throw against whole person.
The problem is entangled is a concentration.
Yeah.
So
You
would
can concentrate. You can concentrate while being shamed.
Yes. Yes.
you can? Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay
yes.
then.
Yeah, it doesn't break
It
concentration.
is a common tactic to turn into something, use call lightning and turn into something large with a high health pool so you can constantly blast out lightning bolts while also being a giant fucking whatever.
Well, I will use my. Yeah, go on. Let's do this. Let's wild shape into a Triceratops.
A fucking Triceratops.
Not any Triceratops. A fucking Triceratops.
Fucking
Give me a
Triceratops.
second. Add, duplicate, save.
Let's give him access.
No. I have a copy of a Triceratops. Now give me a second.
We bring
Add
back the
five.
old words. Is that a fucking Triceratops?
True.
And it's like, where did I leave a fucking Triceratops copy now? Did I leave him under the named NPCs or no?
Yo, is that his fucking icon? That's it. I mean, it's straight an icon of Cad Bane, but
Oh yeah.
it's sick.
I've not pretended.
Oh, I
We all
know.
know. We all know full well what I'm doing with this guy. Ruler cool. Ah, got the comfies. Valid. Let me just close all these down, and I will.
I'm
just-
having a hard day.
That
You
is
know
fair.
what? It's fair.
Give me 1 second, guys.
I'm trying to help as much as I can.
You're doing fine,
shapes
bud. You're a
and
Triceratops. That's serotonin.
Yes, massively so.
I mean, he's entangled now, so that should hopefully stop.
A fucking
shots.
Triceratops. Save change.
Babushka.
Edit. All players can be edited and controlled by. I'm just going to say all players for the sake of ease. Save change. Okay, Ollie, click and drag that from the B-shaped summons, and you should be able to click into it and use it. For the sake of this, I'm moving Serenus over here. And while you do that and move him over, just try to move him now, just for the sake of the test.
No, I can't move him.
I don't know why that is. I'll have to look at it later. Right, initiative for the Hunter. 9. Hunter will be going late. Runara.
Okay, I've got
At
so
this
many
moment-
questions.
At this moment, you're there like, Kika's slow falling. You're aware she's slow falling. As she is, look across, you heard a bang, and you heard a and as it's happening, you just see the figure, a kid, aiming a large, weird metal long barrel, like a rifle, but augmented in some ways. It's like an uncanny valley rifle in some ways for you. Aiming it at Poe, and you can just see Serenus throwing up vines and then turning into a fucking Triceratops to attempt to, obviously with intention, aimed towards it.
Okay, I need to know a couple of things before I decide.
Go ahead.
We know the thing's trying to kill Posey,
Aimed a gun at Poe, literally, like it.
but we don't know anything about what the crown's doing on her head.
No, you do not have any
So
idea.
I have to
what the
forget
part
about
of
that.
what
Okay.
the part of the crown around Poe's head currently is doing.
Then I've got to forget that that's even a thing, which is difficult.
Love you guys. Sorry if this is heavy.
Everyone's both.
I knew what we were getting into.
Mm-hmm.
As my action, I'll banish Cad Bane.
He's not from this plane, so that would work.
I know.
Charisma saving throw.
DC 16.
Damn. Damn.
Oh yes, banishment for the win!
Oh, thank God I don't have to do it anymore.
Best spell in the game.
It is.
Bye
Banished!
bye.
Truly the best. It's like, no, actually, I don't want to do a combat right now. Goodbye, thank you.
Yeah.
I cast Begone Thought!
Somewhere in the
Yeah.
world, Roman Nomer just went.
I cast skip cutscene.
Roman's just at the house, like after, okay, we've killed Zalto. I'm gonna go back to the house for a little bit. There was a banishment used.
Yeah, he's just reading a book
There was
and
a
he just sort of
banishment.
he looks up like...
No, you're flying towards. Here's the thing: the defenders are on their way to fight Cloth right now,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
Oh my
right.
God, I forgot.
and you
There's
just got a
banishment
ping
menus.
of a really important banishment. Like, nutty. It's like the fucking scene from Mad Max where Tom Hardy is in the little pole that goes, woo, and he's just like,
I feel like it ripples throughout everything. You know, like in Kung Fu Panda when he does the
Oh,
whooshy
yeah.
thing, and it's like it ripples, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?"
So as you guys watch, Renara, you see your friend tempted to be gunned down. There's a panic that sets into your chest immediately. No, not her. Boom. This flame just erupts from you, washes over the hunter, and they just are gone with banishment. If you hold concentration for 1 minute, it will be left in the astral sea.
Are you allowed?
Without his ship.
Would you be able to slightly retcon my action economy? Could I have done my bonus action first? Before
If
that?
you would like to, yes. Oh, to do your
Okay.
extra healing, yes.
Yeah.
Certainly, I'll let you have that.
Was it 2d6, wasn't it?
Correct.
Poe.
Who are you giving it to?
Poe, you get 2 hit points.
Take it.
Take that in-
Two
Min
take that
double
into the hills.
digits, everybody.
Take that into the hills with you.
Hey!
That's Rulo done.
Okay. Runara, you do that. For the sake of this, I'm going to say that whole persons or otherwise spells can be used to restrain Kika for as long as you guys feel needed. Between Archon effects so that you don't spend spell slots, or otherwise. I'm going to say that combat gets disrupted. Serenus, you may remain as a Triceratops for as long as you like. Off to an hour, I believe.
Might be a good
Several
idea
hours.
in case something else comes along.
As you guys are here, you feel this way. You feel this energy over you. And there's something in your gut that says you shouldn't want it. But it's so much power. It's more than you could have ever had. And now I'm going to roll a d100 for a different matter. At this point, while you guys were all here, you're all still looking around. Several minutes pass while you're restraining it. What do you guys do while you're restraining Kika?
Varus will be trying to gather everyone up so he can teleport us the fuck out of here.
Okay. You have a Triceratops moving towards you, which will have to shape change back into a medium-sized creature.
We've got to be within
I
10 foot of
believe
each
it's
other.
for only like a minute or so or less that the paralyzation lasts for our boy Lo. So Lo will get a little tap, or someone can just elbow him and pops out of the paralyzation. Thankfully, it was a minor one that doesn't last that long in that way.
You can do paralyzed with lesser res, right?
Correct.
Renara with just lesser restoration.
Awesome. That's a restoration on Lo. After this time, Kika gets suppressed. Whilst that's happening, what are the rest of you doing in this moment?
Do I get the vibe that I gotta go?
It's interesting. You would believe that this is a point of finality, that something is going to happen that is going to pull you away from all these people that you like, all your friends, new and old. And you feel like there should be something for you. Should get something. Something should be yours. And it's weird. You feel like you should go, but you don't get brought anywhere. You don't get sent. You don't feel like you should pull yourself somewhere. And while you're there with this notion in your head, you're focusing in. And you're kind of concentrating because you're like, what is going on with my head? Because, of course, so much is happening right now. You are having floods of information and knowledge, and it's almost overwhelming constantly. Your portion of the crown is just like one tip that comes up, like a little bit here, that's broken into a shard. You focus for a second, you concentrate, and you can see the rest of that crown, minus your piece, on someone else's head. It is
Okay.
on the head of partially a Geth, partially a Tiefling. Someone else has been used to claim the other shards.
The one that we haven't got in Neverwinter.
This is not Prosperity,
Spoils.
who's in Neverwinter. This is Audacity.
Audacity. Yeah. Do I do I get the feeling that I'm playing Keep Away again?
In some perverse, grim, almost chuckle in your mind at the notion and nearly giggle aloud that you feel like once again somehow you're playing a form of Keep Away.
I don't think it's nearly. I think in a like I think straight up Pox shifts down to Pox with little nubbin horns, and some like black scaling and slightly clawed fingers, because why not?
Why not? Aesthetic. Throw it in.
And like straight up like a horror, like a thing from a horror movie just starts cackling. Just like like has obviously under the shape change been crying, and then just starts like falls to her knees laughing, like hysterically.
You guys all see
Bleeding. Like so hurt.
bleeding,
Just
such
starts
agony,
laughing.
and is just laughing. Is laughing so much. And as they are in this moment, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for watching, if indeed you still are. And we're back in a minute.
Catch you in a big guys.
So, at this current stage, oh, you can't help but laugh at the maddening irony of the situation. Varys, you're trying to wrangle everyone around you to teleport them back to wherever the fuck you want to go that's away from here. Is there anyone who is resisting trying to get Varys to get everyone to teleport out of here?
If I
You're all
don't
good with that?
yeah, if I don't feel like I'm about to imminently be summoned to the abyss, then no.
Would I feel any hostile thoughts from it? Well, currently a Triceratops. I don't. So,
But your brain is your own.
but my
Yes.
brain is my own though.
Yeah, you
so...
keep all your mental stats. So
Yeah, you already gained
intellect,
strength from
A
wisdom,
it.
fucking
and
paranoid Triceratops. In
Hyperventilating.
fairness, I will say this, Ernest. As much as you feel like everyone's out to get you, what about all the people who you don't see that might be out to get you right now? At least you can
That is
keep an
very
eye on these
true.
guys if you go with them.
That's very true. Yeah. Yeah. I'll accept. Begrudgingly.
You have to no
Teleport.
longer be a fucking Triceratops, a fucking paranoid Triceratops to be teleported.
Yeah, I'm gonna wild shape out them.
Except
Varys.
teleport.
You hear a familiar voice in your head.
Mhm.
Legacy. The sending spell.
Mm-hmm.
What in the nine hells is going on? Why?
Bitch, what isn't?
Why is my dad freaking out?
Ah!
Okay.
How do you even begin?
I don't know this creature. Just that. Do I know that? I know I forgot this guy's name, or never knew the
Correct.
name. But do I still know we just killed a demon prince of the abyss,
You are aware.
or a demon lord, or whatever demon?
You were aware of what it was, because that's what it is now. It has been entirely dehumanized. I guess is the easy way to say it. The name is gone. And as you're even there and you're talking and you're looking at it, you can just see, just beneath it, like a pool of liquid, of starlight and the abyss of the sky just like open up beneath it and it just falls through. The place where all ancient ones go when they die.
Interesting.
Also, at this point, by the way, I'll let you describe first. By all means.
No, it's okay. It's just one more thing to check. Legacy went with the moon pigs.
No,
No,
No?
she's back in
no,
Neverwinter.
she's in
She's
Neverwinter.
back in Neverwinter.
she headed back to Neverwinter after handling
Never-
Zalto.
Neverwinter Castle has a teleportation circle. Would Varys know it?
There is a teleportation circle in Neverwinter,
But not in the castle.
not in the castle specifically, because that's a bit of an easy in, shall we say?
Okay. Okay, here's our reply to the sentence block. We killed a demon prince. Can't remember his name. Going to Moongleam Tower. Meet us there now. Have Spire.
That's important.
That's important.
That PS is very important.
Like a footnote.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
after everything that
Yes,
happened,
I have a nuke.
yeah, but after everything that happened, the fact we have a spire is so minor now.
I know, right?
I feel like this text is going to end. Do you want any milk picking up or anything?
Yeah.
Can you get us some bread?
Kiss.
Kiss,
Do you
XOXO.
add those last three pieces?
No.
Do you add those last three words?
No.
No, this is ours.
Memeing.
Yes, it's Varys. That's why I have to check.
The moment's too serious. So if it was a less serious moment, he would, but right now he wouldn't.
So, you get everyone together. You teleport to Moongleam Tower.
yes, to the teleportation circle of Mooglim Tower.
Assuming there's nothing else in this room, I'm sure, and the seasoned adventurer will give the room a once over in terms of items.
You see scraps of entities' bodies. No weapons, no things of remark. Wave of Sorrow is gone.
Damn it.
Oh yeah, no, Varus 100% isn't checking for loot. He wants us to
You're
get
just
out
getting
of
the
here.
block out.
He wants us out of here now. He
Yeah.
wanted us out of here 30 seconds ago.
You wanted everyone out of here yesterday, and you weren't even here. Got it. You teleport.
Does my wolf get to us before we teleport?
You just see your dog just like where is this? You just see over like
I
the
can't-
thing, just like.
I don't think that's too many people, unfortunately.
I can't teleport the wolf.
Well,
I
it's
can
just more so that way I can dismiss. Well, not fully
You can
dismiss,
dismiss
but
him whenever. And you have to summon him back. You can do that again with a spell slot later.
I've got enough to support us.
yeah,
and that's it.
that's what I mean.
Like
Yeah, there's a
the
lot
7,
of you motherfuckers.
like Varus, the 7 other players, and Kayak. That's him and that
Yeah,
8
yeah.
winning.
But-
players.
but it was just-
shunks down, as does Serenus to get in. Serenus like pulling a wing over the shell-shocked Low, who's kind of just shaking in this moment because all that hit Low at once. There was so much there.
So we do see the fragment of the crown, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to
You
ask.
do. It
Actually,
is floating above.
Oh, is it floating? I was gonna say, is
Okay,
it like
well-
in my
No,
head?
it's not embedded. It is
Oh,
floating above.
that's how I was
The
visualizing.
thing
That
would-
would be sick.
then this would be slightly different. Varus wouldn't.
No, let's go.
He would know. He would look at that before he teleports.
I have a weird idea.
What's up, hon?
You said that there was a hole in the ground where the corpse of the demon law was going.
Correct.
Would I be able to use a mage hand and nudge the crown shard into the hole?
So you don't want to physically touch the crown itself, but you want to try and, like, while it's floating above your head, shove it through the portal.
Yes.
Okay. What I'm going to say to this is, I want you to give me an Arcana check for Lo to interpret how Lo could try and do this.
Literally, the way that I picture this is like a bad baseball catch, but purposely fumbling the catch to drop it.
So you're literally trying to almost smack it with a mage hand out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is, Lo, is give me a Arcana check. The reason I'm saying that is that I can then give you an idea of what Lo's head thinks about how
Yeah.
Lo could interpret handling this object right now. If
Right.
that's okay, please.
No probs.
Thank you.
Just while Lo's rolling that, Runara obviously sees the crown. Varus sees the crown. We can assume it's bad to bring it with us. Yes. But do we know how bad? If we do.
Barris can make a history check.
I just need to know how much they assume, because it will change what I'll do.
Let's make a history check then.
That was Varus' stat. So.
That was Varus' stats, that's fine. So I'm going to give this first to Lo. Lo. A mage hand is a cantrip. It is a simple form of magic. Whilst there is logic in the idea of trying to rip this from Poe and doing it with something which is not a creature, ergo they do not touch it, they are not imbued by it or otherwise, you feel like a mage hand may not be the most powerful way to do it. It's like trying to have, well, yes, you could make the logic of I could rip the handle off the door, having a puppy do it compared to having a bodybuilder do it is a different thing. Of one of these things is not designed to pull with force, whereas something else of that nature could attempt it to remove it, to sever it from Poe in this moment. So you feel like you could try it with something else, but a mage hand just is not powerful enough. But it is a good idea It just needs to be on it something else. Something else has to do it. And to answer to Runara,
Varus.
sorry, for Varus.
So I think that change the chat.
Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. I just glanced back. Floating crowns above people's heads is usually not a good thing. Poe got the killing blow on this entity. The two may be related. And if they are, Moongleam Tower is a fortress in and of itself. You're currently exposed. If something wants to get this, they could do it now. But trying to get it from her in Moongleam would be much harder. And all your tools and assets are there to try and make something work.
Okay. Getting her to a place of safety is an important thing, but getting the crown off of them before we go, do I feel like that would be also important?
For that, I'm going to say you can make an Arcana check.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, sorry.
You are using Varus, so this is going to be...
I'm trying to justify what I want to do, but
Okay.
I wouldn't do it unless I know what's happening.
Okay. What do you believe is happening here? After you're like, well, okay, that's not good, but okay, if I'm using the logic of Poe has taken out this entity, and this is the point as well, you guys, as you're like trying to recount, it's like a dream, in that you're trying to recount details of it, of this entity. The further and further you go, the less you can describe, except from just like calling it an entity. You were aware it was a thing. It was a dangerous thing. Was it a dangerous thing? Well, you're all hurt, so it must have been a dangerous thing. You can have that logic applied. But you don't even remember that it's the Lord of the Things anymore. Varys. The ways that something like this could be removed. But you believe, with magic, you do not have the tools here present to do it. What you would require to do... Oh. I thought he was just like in sincere contemplation.
I thought he was messaging me.
Oh.
I thought he was in like sincere contemplation like this.
Whoops.
Instead, it's his internet's gone on him. So I'm going to hold off on that for a second whilst Varys is getting back on. Sheesh.
Can I take then a free action, probably in very fragmented, shell-shocked, sort of cracking voice like this, almost like Lo is just about to cry kind of voice. Past that, and I'm purposely saying he passes it as best that he can to Varys, or Faris in this regard, just as a sharing of information, as in...
Yes, you can. And I will say that will have helped lower Varys' DC, by the way. Welcome back.
So yeah, so midway through your explanation, I went...
They're all good. So with Lo giving the fragmented details that they can, Lo is trying so hard, and just like in this moment you can appreciate that effort of just like desperately trying to convey this information. Magic could remove this, but it's going to have to be strong. What you believe right now, Faris, is that you're looking at something in the grade of or ninth circle of magic to try and remove this from Poe without killing her. You believe that you could remove it at the cost of her life. Your moral quandaries there I will leave with you. As harsh as a fucking statement, I think that's the harshest thing I've ever known. Say, I'll leave that moral quandary with you.
No, I mean it's an easy quandary. Varys will get everyone together for the teleport. Come on, everyone, grab my hand. It'll gesture to Pose with left hand. Come on, we'll get out of here.
Are you attempting to harm Poe?
Not with
I'm
this
asking.
hand.
That's so specific.
With his right hand, he'll do Is that somatic? I kind of want to say there is just for the shits. There is. He'll do the somatic components for a 5th level magic missile. Like with his right hand, and just holding out with his left. At the moment she grabs his hand, he says, "I'm sorry," and unleashes a 5th level magic missile at Posey.
Counterspell.
You will have to roll to counterspell.
I
Obviously,
feel
by
like
the
we've
way-
been here before.
What fucking year is this?
No, like not that long ago. In
These three
Barris'
specifically.
when Fox dropped form.
You can make an int check.
Yep, you have to make an int check. The DC is.
I don't know
10
who I'm
plus the
rooting
spell
for.
save.
I don't know.
I
You
knew
know.
that.
Poison- Poisoned?
I think I kind of.
Oh yes, it
Yeah,
would be
you're
a
poisoned, you
because
have
were
disadvantage.
poisoned. That poison. whew.
Poison is a very bad status.
Yeah, it is. It's rare. But it's very bad.
How long
Just
was
an
I
inch roll,
invisible
is it?
for?
A minute, I think.
Oh, it was a minute.
Sorry,
Yeah,
what were you
this is
asking
all-
for, Widdick?
Invisibility. Is it just the
Lasted a minute.
spells? Okay.
And also, when you made a grapple check, it would have broken anyway.
Well, you didn't really need to. A featherfall kind of happened. Like,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
had chosen
so-
to grapple her at that time, that would have dropped it. Which I would say,
Uh,
because you did not retroactively, I'll say that you did grapple her, you would have dropped. So you need to roll. Just make an intelligence check
With disadvantage.
with disadvantage.
Right. Is there any Archon power I can use to empower a spell or anything? I've been
You
meaning to
can
ask this because
choose to increase the DC of an Archon check to do this. So bear in mind, you are attempting to use a 3rd level spell. You're trying to empower it. And by this empowering, I'm going to say that it removes the disadvantage. So that will make it a DC 17 straight check on your Archon. Or you would have to make an Archon check, excuse me, at disadvantage. And
Last
then,
question. Sorry to interrupt.
go on.
Would King even realize what I'm doing? Because
you
as
doing
far,
the somatic.
as far as King knows, I'm going to teleport us the fuck out of here.
You are doing a somatic,
somatic
component for magic
components.
missile with your other hand, which you did
Can
not
they-
say that you were attempting to hide. You did not make a
Oh,
stealth check.
I
you
am
did not make a
tired,
sleight of
but
hand
no, that's
check.
fine. But that's
So
fine.
I'm going to
yeah.
say on those two, you did not
And
attempt to hide it.
and there's no somatic components for teleport, so King would know.
Yeah. So King, I'm going to say.
So
make
I've
an
always
Archon
thought you were
check.
dodgy around Pox.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Also,
no, you're
fair.
right
so King
to
has
be
a crush
honest.
on Pox. You really going to try to take her out in front of her? Is she not
This is
gonna-
the second time Varys tried to kill Pox in front of King. Like,
So I'm going to
So
say
an Arcane check?
King, an Archon check at disadvantage. The DC is 17. If you succeed this DC, you get to make your counterspell check straight.
At this, so this is an arcane roll at disadvantage, DC 17.
Correct.
Fuck you.
Oh,
So
step
now-
one.
Now
That's
you
I'm
not
must
trying to
make-
save Posey. I'm trying to kill her to save her. You know that, right?
Don't mess with the crown.
No,
Crew.
we don't know this at this time.
Of course
Oh.
we don't know this.
The character doesn't.
roll-
Don't mess with the newest member of the crown crew. Let's see how I go. Intelligence roll, is it just straight?
Straight intelligence,
Intelligence
check. Yeah.
check straight. No disadvantage.
You're going to make it. You can roll 2, or not 2 because you're not proficient in base intelligence. Yeah.
So you guys watch Faris bringing Poe in. That mournful glaze just like washes over Varys, and the somatic components, the spell effects for magic missile come out, and as they do, you can just see a ball appear. Essentially, I'll use this as a point to describe how I've always described counterspell working. You are performing the magic, you are preparing it in your hand, using the somatic components or otherwise to cause the magic to appear in your hand. This happens very quickly and you launch it. Because combat is a quick paced thing, there's always an imperfection in this magic. When you're careful, at home, practicing, studying, you can practice it a billion times. but because you have the time to do it safely. In a combat, hectic moment, there's always an imperfection. In this moment, as always, there's an imperfection. Counterspell is abjuration magic being lunged into something like oil in water, disrupting the effect and nullifying it. So you guys watch as that magic missile effect is being prepped. There's a moment where, for many of you, your heart stinks. And then, all at once, there's just those beads attempt to come out and are just caught and popped by a blast of abjuration energy from King. Posey, you are now aware Barris tried to... That have killed you. Would have killed you.
My blade is at his throat.
If we're still in initiative, there's more stuff I want to do, but tell me when I can do something else.
I'm going to say that
So the party want to roll
Barris, you
initiative
have a
against
bonus
Barris.
action, or your hasted action would have dropped by this point because
Yeah, haste dropped during all the previous, and so I'm ignoring that.
Cool. So you have a
Can
bonus
I-
action
Or
if you want to. Sorry. Okay. So Poe, I know you want to say something, but Barris is here. Barris's turn is still kind of going, so I'm going to say you have a bonus action or your movement. That's what I'm going to say you have, Barris. Anything you would like to do with either of those?
I can't do it. As a bonus action, I just want to let go of Posey and sort of just shove her back, just like out of
Push
anger,
away.
and just start to approach King.
You move towards King. As you try to move towards King, Rune Blade against your throat. Poe. I'm going to let Poe speak before anyone else takes any action.
I look at Varys. Just a mess of a person right now. I takes a deep breath. What happens to the crown?
Just look back.
Barris, you'd be aware that if you killed her, the crown would go to you. The fragment of the crown.
To the simulacrum, not to Varys.
To the simulacrum, not the true Varys.
I'll just turn back, look her over my shoulder, and be like, someone more apt for the job takes over. Someone who's expendable.
I'm going to ask, because I know, Whittick, you have the sword to the throat. Runara, Serenus, Lo, Kika. Is there anything any of your characters would say or do in this moment? The only person I'm going to let talk over anyone or interrupt anyone is going to be Poe. Poe says something.
Does that logic follow that if when the simulacrum would go, it would just be in the abyss? Like what the moon said? Like it would just be like the simulacrum would have it for a while, but when the simulacrum inevitably died, it would just be in the abyss.
Correct.
Do it. Neither of us want it. I'm just the one willing to take the hit because I've got it in my hand right now.
Varys will just turn back to King and Whittick and just be like, it has to happen.
Well, with the blade there, literally what it's going to be. Maybe before you do things, explain them so that we don't think you're trying to fucking do the same shit you do every single time, no matter whether you're fake or real.
Okay.
God bless you.
Speaking for 2 generations of parties.
That was like 5 years
Healing.
of anger behind that speech.
Jesus.
Varys.
Varys-
Varys will-
Primus preserved.
I
Varys will
swear
reach up.
to all that is orderly.
Varys will just reach up and put a hand on Whittick's shoulder and be like, you're too much like the master.
No shit.
Just give him that little
Too much
humble
like
smile.
Varys.
Full, not that, I'm enjoying this whole noble sacrifice thing, but can I be brought back if we do this?
Runari will speak up and say, I can. Yeah, I should be able to.
Okay.
I've done it before, but I should be able to.
Yeah, sure.
I'll
Okay.
go through the base
I
culture
don't-
and just put it out
and-
there,
and-
and they'll be like, "Yeah, that's
I was gonna
And-
say, do we have a
Hold
dialogue?
on, hold
Literally,
on.
Yeah.
it's just so
Stacey,
big.
hold on.
Sorry.
Stacey.
And I'm going to say this in the best way that I can. Lo will sort of say, and I will feckin' well help as well, but instead of fecking, he's not actually realizing that he's swearing in infernal.
Which, by the way, Pox, if you didn't already, you now understand.
But it's sort of it's sort of such an off the cuff thing that he doesn't realize that he's said it. So because he's so tired, so tired and stressed and emotional.
I kind
King's
of
gonna not even look at Pox, just still looking at Varys ready, and say, "Resurrection is never guaranteed, and a crown cannot fall to what amounts to a spell."
can I walk up to King?
Yep.
I'm still there, sword at my throat, so I'm not approaching.
I'm gonna
I have to put it down now.
Okay.
I'm gonna very gently put my hands on King's shoulders. No, the height difference is not great for me. And just be like, it's okay. If I come back, then I'm still part of the team because I've got my castle. If I don't, I don't. But I can't have this. All I've ever done is protect and play keep away with powerful, awful things. Mostly without meaning to. And if that's the gamble I've always been ready to take. I don't like Varys either. But if it means that in a couple weeks, this crown sits on a pile of dust and not Asmodeus or Blackith, I'll take those odds any day. I appreciate that you're looking out for me, because that's rare. Just the best thing you can do for me right now is just hope that I come back. And if I come back as more like you, I'm not.
Des, can you take me into whispers for a second?
Oh! Fuck. Okay, bye. Farewell.
Maybe.
Well, that's fun when that happens, isn't it?
We haven't used whispers in a while.
No, we haven't.
We've never had a
Player request the
Player-
DM.
player request, yeah.
Normally I'll just message that if I'm like,
Yeah.
is this... is this...
Can I just say, y'all? I never thought this would be how this goes down. It's just like, no, kill me. I never thought I would be asking to be killed as a D&D character more than I did on
Barrows.
Glory.
It's so weird to be in a situation as well in a game where it's
Well-
like, no, the best option is for us to just kill them
to death.
and then hopefully just resurrect them back to normal. You know, it's fine.
If she doesn't come back, she doesn't come back. That's better odds than the odds we were dealing with.
It is the best scenario, which is crazy.
Yeah, I could instantly revivify you the moment you go down.
And if I don't come back, I don't come back. I was going to become a demon lord and not come back anyway. So
Yeah, exactly. It's giving you
we're in
a
the same
chance.
odds. And the dice will decide, and I feel like that's fate then.
I mean, the dice have decided a lot this session already.
The dice have made me
Do we-
roll 3 1s for the 3 20s
we-
I rolled 2 sessions ago. I'm very
Yeah.
Do we want to trust the dice to make a decision after what it's
No,
just done
I
to you?
think the dice have a plan. I think the dice have a narrative that a way they think this needs to go.
We were meant to get to this moment here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very superstitious when it comes to the dice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on a Sabbath.
God, yeah.
It is the day where Persephone goes to hell. Literally.
Ironic.
Oof.
Ironic.
There was a
What if-
taste in the air. of
Not if
this.
you've got anything to do about it. I might not be able to get you guys out of here though if I die.
Well, the thing is, it won't happen straight away. I don't think.
If
'cause that's-
if it doesn't take me away straight away, boom, we're out. Teleport.
Yeah.
Gone.
It
Which I have a
hasn't
feeling-
taken Poe right away.
Oh, immediately.
No.
So yeah.
I have a feeling it would be a thing of like when I died, because that's what they do, right? When a fiend dies, they go back to the
Yeah.
thing and regen.
Yeah.
Hey, if Posey dies and we teleport before we resurrect her, technically I can bring Garn with me because Posey will be an object, not a creature.
No, we're not doing this.
No, I'll just take 10 minutes later to resummon. It's
Okay,
So
fine.
if this
I
I
think
love
we
the
can
grim
take it-
math, though.
if
I
this
think we
bit,
can take a 10-minute break.
yeah, if this bit succeeds, how much juice has fake Varys got left in him before he poofs out?
Not much, right?
Well, he doesn't poof until he drops to 0. Spell
Yeah,
slot
it would
wise,
just exist with no spell slots.
a spell slot
Oh,
wise,
does it?
right now he has 2 first levels, 3 second, a 6 and a 7. The
So
only
he doesn't
6
have his
levels,
big hits either. So even if he became a demon lord right now, he wouldn't have his big shit.
the
Yeah.
only 6th level I have prepped is True Seeing. The only 7th level I have prepped is Teleport. He doesn't have combat spells.
This is a
prepped.
very long whisper for something I thought would be a meme.
Yeah, fake Varys hasn't got
I'm
combat spells
only
left because
afraid.
he was a laboratory assistant, effectively.
Yeah.
He has stuff
I'm only
like
afraid of
yeah.
Nemo doing another 0. Like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm going to become the villain again.
You know, Nemo is the most lawful person on the planet, and
Oh, yeah, I know.
that was literally his character theming to make King. He was like, "I'm going to make the most
I'll make
lawful,
it true lawful.
true
Yeah.
lawful, and
Yeah.
show people that it can be interesting instead of being lawful boring, which is the stereotype."
make a roll.
I mean, technically, I'm lawful good in that. In my mind, I'm thinking, yes, Fiend. That is a peak of chaos. I should give it to
It's
order.
going to be an adventure for us to continue to be a party, assuming that I remain a fiend from now on.
Yeah.
Every time
Because
you
I'm gonna be doing divine set.
Well, to be fair, I was technically a fae very recently, so
No,
Yeah, it's just like, now I gotta retune this. Okay.
ignore
over
this
there.
one. If I
The
get
thing I-
possessed by a succubus or some shit,
I mean, we can deal with possession now. Now we're 10th level.
well, no, but like
Um,
you'd never know.
No, that's true. But you know the thing I've realized how much I hate about this whole scenario while running 2 characters
Hmm.
is the characters that don't know each other that well, so I can't synergize because they wouldn't synergize with each other.
No.
No.
It's like I get like with you, Blue, like your 2, 100% they would synergize because of who they are,
Siblings, yeah.
and like with Mum and Dad as well, they synergized. Varys and Renara, no, they met a week ago.
Mhm.
Not even that, like 2 days ago.
It's definitely if anything easier this time around because literally the 2 kids were designed to be reflections of their parents. So when they are
Yeah.
working together, it is very apparent.
It's the same
Yeah.
decision making, yeah. Hey, if Pox doesn't come back, we're getting a new boy.
If I'll tell you now, if King tries to do anything to stop Varys, then Varys cannot teleport us out because Varys will get King off the table before he does this. By
We
public
still got
banishing.
Whale for today. Oh no, we don't.
We didn't use all the time on it, right? Because we teleported to Parnas. No,
We teleported. Yeah,
we
yeah,
teleported
so,
to
no, we will
Thingy
still have
to,
Whale for today.
and then we flew maybe an hour tops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 uses of it, so.
Yeah. We'll see what happens when he comes back.
Yep.
It's
I would
taking
say
a while.
King. Oh no.
Ah,
Welcome back, gang.
they return.
This should have never happened to you.
No.
You probably noticed at this point, King just reach up to the crown on her own head. And tears run down her face. I'll let the DM take from there.
Focusing on her arcane energy. And rolling a 30 at disadvantage.
What the
Jesus.
fuck?
I said the dice had an agenda.
What the actual fuck?
King is a necromancer, first and foremost. There you go, bless
It
his heart.
dropped again.
I'm going to just describe this. I'm not
I know.
gonna-
I know.
I'm not-
Varys has something. Go on.
Will I hold? Will I hold?
It depends if it's something Varys can do anything about.
If it can be interrupted, Kay will try to interrupt it.
Sorry,
may as well narrate.
I
Okay,
disconnected. I just came back. Tell me what's.
And
Just keep it rolling.
if that's not a sign.
Oh boy,
I love
the
Kay.
God,
universe
this
is
is-
physically trying to stop him.
Oh, bless his
The
heart.
universe clearly.
Whatever
wants
happens, I
King
just want to
do-
say, yeah, my roll was on disadvantage. It was 30 and 31.
Why?
Jesus.
Wild.
Why is my?
Okay.
It's
Okay.
trying to stop you,
It's
Kay.
trying to stop you.
Okay, Kay. An Archon effect is going on here. What was the last thing you heard?
The last thing I heard was fucking King come out and have tears down their face and touch their crown.
Tear
That's
down her
literally it.
face,
I've lost all
reaching for
of
her
it.
crown.
Rolled a 30 at disadvantage.
Yes. So essentially, the kind of like almost veil style with it, the crown is there, and the crown is more or less embedded to the skull around King's head. It is her right to rule. Where and how is irrelevant, but it's her right to rule. It can only be given up if you choose. King is a necromancer. The handout, the arcane focus, forearm, essentially, like that old mantra. That one is the one that is up the crown. And the hand is on your shoulder. At this point, you guys watch. The shard above your head disappears to the abyss. As in this brief second, oh, you're not sure, you had a moment where your heart skipped. For a second, you're not sure if you just died. But the crown definitely thought you did. Could find no one who was responsible for the death.
That's so smart.
So smart.
However, you can just feel now resting upon your brow and around your head. Crown of King.
I abdicate my throne.
At this point, King says that to you, and the hand at your shoulder begins slipping. King begins falling back.
No.
And here's what I'm going to do. You are all being watched right now. Multiple entities from multiple sources. King, roll a d100. You may add or subtract your choice. I'm not telling you higher or lower is better. You may add or subtract your Arcana check to it.
That's just before a result is done. Have we got a moment, like Runara specifically, has she got a moment to do anything right now?
I will allow Runara to do something if she would like to.
She's just gonna grab the spy out of her bag, pull it out into her hand, and start reaching out towards King. But she won't make it in time before they fall.
I was going to ask whether I could give a inspiration to King for whatever is happening.
Absolutely. I'll say you can give a d10.
You haven't told me which is if it's high or lower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a d4, so let fate decide.
1 and 2 lower, 3 and 4 higher.
Exactly.
When I was approaching with the divination spire. Yeah.
So I'm going to lower it with my arcane. So you want me to roll arcane, are you saying?
No, I'm just going to use your modifier, which would be... Well, no, actually, no, you could. Actually, no, roll an Arcana check. Straight check. You can also add a d10 to that from low if you would like. So you can subtract an additional
Minus-
d10 from that, so roll a d10.
29 from that.
33.
I rolled 100. If I had something between 20 of your roll, one thing would occur. If I rolled anything under a 10, one thing would occur. Rolled 100. King, as you're falling back, you feel a skeletal hand press against your back. And in this moment, in this freeze frame, you accept it. You accept you're doing this for your friend. Keeping the secret of how you feel for her as you go. You feel a skeletal hand press against your back. You are floating. Your soul is floating. As it is. Feel the figure robes against the back of your robes, moving to the side. And as it's there and turned, you can see a skeletal face, also wearing a form of a crown. But from this side, missing an eye. You are a remarkably interesting little thing. But I'm not going to let this be a tragedy. I'll be looking to visit you very, very soon. The King. As you're there, King, you feel a little push. As you're slightly falling back, you fall forward into Poe's arms on 1 health.
Jesus Christ.
So we essentially both just died and came back straight away.
Yep.
And the crown is just gone. What did you do? King, what did you do?
You're more or less like holding King kind of flopped on top of you.
Yeah, I'm
essentially.
literally...
Even though she's holding me, I take the knee as best I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of
I
say you
say-
down.
And I say, Your Highness,
You're very silly.
Permission
live the king.
permission to minor illusion, like sakura petals or something.
Granted.
Attention all you want.
I'm gonna kind of look around to Renar and be like, "Can you? I think King's hurt."
Yeah, I was rushing towards King as they started to fall, so
Yeah.
I'd probably reach you a second after to my
You
knees
literally
and
like
just...
long live the king, and you're like, oh, the fuck that. And you just like rush him.
Yeah, Kika runs forward as well.
I think we can go. That was too much.
That's wrong. Oh, that was to GM.
That's fine. 11.
King, you heal 11 hit points from Runar. As he casts a 5th level cure wounds. That roll was awful.
11 health they didn't have a minute ago. You're back to 12 health.
What 12 health?
I mean, the extra 4d4, she rolled 1-1-1-2, so...
What does this feel like?
King, you can describe that. What's the crown feel like?
The crown is, as you may recall, everyone got the option of taking a magical object by the DM. I chose a simple spell, but quite unbreakable.
Mhm.
A crown that cannot be removed except by its owner. It is a key to a lock that did not exist yet. That lock now exists. You now have a crown that is, by all accounts, it is an insanely locked onto you thing. It will be very, very difficult to remove it from you.
But
It
you
feels
can
like it's
relinquish
fused
it.
to your head, but at the same point, you could move it as easy as anything. Nothing else can.
Okay. If I shape change, would it shape change with me?
It would accommodate your new head.
I see.
Also, as a fair point to say, you can also relinquish it whenever you choose.
Oh yeah.
Folks, Posey is wearing a crown, plus, bear in mind, she also has little horns as well. I'm just saying that Poe is taking on more qualities of legacy right now.
Don't tell him
because
that.
because of the
Oh
Tell me
because
no!
of the
You're correct, but we all know, but no one say it.
Keep going though, honey. Explain it out though the rest of the way.
Yeah.
But we're saying this out of character.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
Okay.
I was gonna say, does she still have the features even though the crown is now gone?
The features were because of the effect. It just was hilarious that they correlated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And as well, I can get rid of them because I just did that for flavor because I'm a changeling and I can look like whatever the fuck I want.
Gotcha.
But I think honestly, after everything that just happened, they're way too shell shocked to not be Pox right now. So I think Pox looks at Varys and goes, as much as I think that would have gotten some issues out between us, I'm kind of glad you didn't do that. But can we go? This has been too much.
Second this.
The sentence. Halfway through that sentence, teleport.
And as you teleport to Moongleam Tower, we're going to end the session there.
Oh my god.
You bitches really couldn't let me die, huh?
Absolutely
No.
not.
I
Absolutely
mean, I'm
not.
totally fine to do it.
You
but,
guys really didn't want a blood
Well,
cleric.
someone could.
No, trust me. From mine and Kay's DMs, Kay did not want me to.
Yeah.
I figured.
Hey,
Das was like,
I'm-
"Oh yeah, this would be a near impossible roll, and you've got poison, so you got disadvantage." And I'm like, "I'm rolling." it."
Literally, while you were
I'm
away,
fucking
I was
do it.
literally talking to everyone about how I was glad that it was going to come down to a revivify dice because I felt that the dice had an agenda and that they wanted this to go a certain way, completely unbeknownst to what was happening in the DM
Yeah,
channel.
yeah, 100%. Oh wow. Right.
You
Damn stream.
you want to
yeah,
know?
yeah, we're gonna end the stream.
You want to
there.
know?
1 second, there's one thing I have to do.
Oh,
Go on. Never been so afraid of a conspicuous silence. What page of your pun are you turning to right now?
No.
What's happening?
If you look at my character sheet, it should now show you.
oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
But wait, but your icon still has a crown on their head.
Well, mine
Yeah, I know.
doesn't, so we got some updating.
They're
to do.
getting to that. They're getting to that.
Yeah,
They're getting to that.
We've got some artwork. We've got some art updates to do, but you'll have to wait next week for that. We're gonna end the stream here, guys. That was
Please.
crazy. Please. Oh my goodness.
Much love, everyone.
We all need a lie down.
I gotta go to work still.
Emotional damage.